Hello and welcome to Dingoes Ate My Podcast. I'm Paul.
And I'm Dave.
And this week we'll be discussing the episode Disharmony. Which I don't think David's happy about, but that's fine because I am. This episode originally aired April 17th, 2001, attracting 3.64 million viewers, which is substantially down from the previous episode.
Also understandable.
People wouldn't know the content before the episode aired. I hate this argument. It annoys me. Anyway, so for video games released this week, there really isn't much. Really only two games. So there was a Spider-Man game that came out on the Dreamcast that I'm not familiar with. I'm assuming it's a port of a PlayStation 1 game, but I don't know for sure. And there's another game called Slipheed: The Lost Planet that came out on PS2, which looks like one of those, like the... There used to be a bunch of them on the NES, so like the top-down kind of plane shooters.
Yeah, okay.
Like, did you ever play... This is a game nobody's heard of. Did you ever play a game called Captain Skyhawk?
I know of... Oh, no. I may have gotten it confused with something else. Don't believe so.
Okay. I loved that game as a kid. Anyway, number one song in America this week. Any guesses? Any guesses?
Nothing immediate. Though, thinking with the song from last week, supposedly just with its... stick with safest bet and say that they're still sitting on top at the moment.
It is not Still Stutter by Joe featuring Mystical. It is now a song called All For You by Janet Jackson.
Yeah, understandable.
Don't ask me. Number one movie at the box office this week. Any guesses?
Again, April around 2001.
We just missed a big kids movie that had its run while episodes weren't airing of the show. Actually, what the hell? So the previous 3 weeks, Spy Kids was the number one movie.
Understandable.
Any guesses on what it is this week, though?
And with that one.
I wouldn't expect you to get it. It's a rom-com from 2001.
Ugh. Yeah, no.
It's Bridget Jones's Diary.
I vaguely know of a movie supposedly having diary in the title, but I think I have it confused with something that came out a couple years later.
It will be quickly dethroned by better films.
Supposedly, thank God, but yeah.
Also, for video games, there were two that I neglected to mention, and we're gonna mention them now because they came out over a month prior to this episode, but I don't care because we're gonna mention them now.
Duly noted. Should I supposedly be concerned?
I don't know, it depends. So on March 1st, and it only came out in Japan on the Dreamcast, was Fire Pro Wrestling D.
Oh.
Don't ask me what the D stood for.
Yeah.
Also, on March 21st, on the Game Boy Advance, this did eventually come to North America, was Fire Pro Wrestling on the Game Boy Advance.
Okay.
Which, you've never played the Fire Pro Wrestling games, have you?
I don't believe so, no.
Oh my god, they're so good! They're like this isometric view, and they're very timing based. Like, if you fuck up your timing, you're fucked. It's great.
Kind of seems to be the case with just about every single wrestling game.
No.
The ones that were on the N64.
No, this is I hate this analogy, but I'm going to use it. Other wrestling games are pretty easy to pick up and play. This is more, and again, I don't like this analogy because I don't think it's accurate, but I'll use it anyway. They're like a Dark Souls version.
Oh dear God, here come all the comments of the Dark Souls game.
In that, if you fuck up your timing, if you fuck up in these games, they just bat the shit out of you. And it's great.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get on to the episode.
Indeed.
Alrighty. So. Okay. Angel is having a difficult time adjusting to the new situation at the hotel where Wesley has taken over his old office and Angel is taking orders from his new employers. A young couple making out in a car is attacked by something wearing a hood. Angel encounters several obstacles while trying to reestablish his friend's trust, especially Cordelia, who's still very angry at him for abandoning them. She gets a vision that sends the guys after the couple attacked in their car. Cordelia follows Angel's advice to take the rest of the night off. But as she is leaving, an old friend from Sunnydale, Harmony, shows up. It's Harmony, Dave. Aren't you excited?
On the one hand, when she just showed up, it's like, it's understandable. She is a character kind of from the Buffy series, but it's the case of, sweetie, why are you here? Like, aside from the one thing you mentioned about breaking up with Spike, why are you here?
Because it's Harmony, and Harmony's great.
That remains to be seen at the moment.
Harmony's great. I don't know what you're talking about. The girls talk about their lives and how they have both changed. Harmony failing to mention that she is now a vampire. That seems kind of important.
Yeah, just a teeny little bit, yeah.
Cordelia invites Harmony to stay at her place while she is in town. This is important.
Yeah.
Angel, Wesley, and Gunn find the car with the window smashed, but run off in another direction when they hear a woman screaming. The woman is rescued, and the three fight the hooded creature, which is revealed to be a vampire, which is quickly staked by Angel. Later that night, we see Harmony walk into Cordelia's room, and she is rather hungry and tempted by Cordelia. Cordelia, however, misinterprets this as Harmony being gay. Because it's 2001, so gay jokes.
Indeed.
Then Cordelia has a phone call with Willow that clears up the confusion, but then Cordelia finds out that Willow's gay.
Yeah, kind of the case of brings up the supposed joke with that, but it's like, wait, we're bringing out the lesbian sort of jokes. Don't we have a lesbian character from the other series?
Yeah. Anyway. Willow calls the hotel and informs Angel about Harmony. He and Wesley rush to Cordelia's rescue, only to find out that the ladies are getting along like friends. They're painting each other's toenails. Cordelia discourages them from any plans to kill Harmony, as she intends to help her undead friend. This will obviously not come back to bite Cordelia. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Back at the hotel, Harmony annoys Wesley and Angel. Angel tries to find other clues from Cordelia's vision, including a large bird figure she saw. To prevent Wesley from killing Harmony, Angel takes her back to the refrigerator for blood, which apparently tastes disgusting because it's pig's blood.
Yeah. Just that whole discussion.
Gunn returns, having found that there have been humans taken off the streets, and it is concluded that they're are not being taken for food, but to add to a new army of vampires. A vampire speaks to a crowded room of robed vampires about his plan, revealing a large cage filled with humans. And it's a fucking vampire pyramid scheme.
Yeah. On the one hand, it started with Harmony, but had a couple moments where it didn't come too bad, but then it came to bloody this. It's just like,
It's so good. They go to Lauren's bar, and Harmony sings on stage very poorly. And Lauren says that she should reconsider her name Harmony. Which I'm like, she's not that bad. I mean, good burn, Lauren, but that's a bit harsh. She wasn't that bad.
You know, just going into a student concert for kids playing music for the first time.
She's not that bad.
No, she's not that bad, but still, it's the case.
It's a great line. Don't get me wrong. It's very funny, but she's not that bad. The guys find Cordelia at the bar and request her help in locating a specific building where the vampire group is meeting. Harmony tags along, convinced that her mission is to be good and help people. This'll last about 5 friggin' minutes.
Yeah.
Arriving at a theater, a bird statue is spotted, but appears different from the vision that Cordelia remembers, until Angel turns on some lights that illuminate the statue in red, making it recognizable to Cordelia. Before heading in, Angel, unable to not speak of the matter anymore, tries to tell Cordelia that Harmony is a danger and will betray her. Gee, really? Harmony? Betray someone? Nah. But she reminds him that he betrayed her as well, even with his soul. Touche. Harmony is selected to go inside and pretend that she wants to join the group. When she goes inside, everyone else waits at the back of the building for her to let them in. She arrives late and tells them of the cage filled with people, but when they get inside, the room is deserted, and the team is attacked by vampires as Harmony has betrayed them. Shocking.
Send the young Dimbo sort of girl that can easily be convinced by people into a motivational speech thing for vampires. That sounds like a perfect plan. Perfect plan.
She thanks them for guiding her to her destiny as Doug approaches and offers to promote Harmony to a blue robe. Doug threatens the team, but they are up to the challenge and prepare to kill them all. Cordelia fights with Harmony while Angel, Wesley, and Gunn take on Doug and the few members of the vampire cult that did not flee. Effectively slaying them all, Cordelia pulls 2 crossbows on Harmony, but instead of killing her, she urges her to get out of her town. Partly out of respect for their friendship and realizing that Harmony is struggling with her finding her own purpose in life, back at the hotel, Angel finally manages to win Cordelia's forgiveness by ordering her a complete new wardrobe of clothes, much to Wesley's chagrin.
Like, on the one hand, most everything with the episode was just peaks and valleys, honestly. But just that last one, just ooh.
It was funny, because it's such a Cordelia moment. Made me very happy. I take it you did not enjoy this episode, Dave.
Again, like I said, just so many peaks and valleys with it. On the one hand, when Harmony first showed up, it was just like, oh, this is just not going to be fun. And going through the basic motions of things, it worked. Even with the case of, oh man, she's a vampire and the concern of things. And joke with her being mistaken as lesbian. At the very least, had Willow come into the episode be like, you do remember that she became a vampire, right? It's like, oh, that makes more sense.
Yes. Alrighty, so let us look at the international titles for this episode. And we've actually got more than normal. Actually, quite a few. So we're going to go through and we're going to pick our favorite. Some of them are kind of lame. There's a bunch that are just Disharmony.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? So, in Finnish, it translates as... I kind of love this. Vampires Limited. In French, it's friend or foe. In Italian, it's old friends. In Latin American Spanish, it's without harmony. And in Spain Spanish, it's discord. So, any particular one that's jumping out to you there, Dave?
I'm going to have to most likely agree with you, just with Vampires Limited, despite the fact that it's... But, close second would be Discord, just keeping with the musical kind of jokes they kind of went with within this episode.
Yeah, this was a fun episode. I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, it's dumb, and it doesn't really do much to advance the plot, but it was fun. Alrighty. So, if there's nothing else about this episode, next week we'll be discussing an episode called Dead End. And, so Lindsay McDonald receives the gift of a new hand from his employers. Gets his hand fixed. But quickly finds that the hand has a mind of its own. Oh, that's not ideal. Meanwhile, Cordelia has a disturbing vision of a man gouging out his own eye, an eye that has been transplanted into him. As each group investigates their own problems with transplants, they cross paths and reluctantly start working together. Angel and Lindsay are going to team up.
Oh boy. Like this wasn't an amazing idea the last time they did that.
It's always a good idea when they team up, because it's always full of bullshit. And it'll be a great time. So until then, I'm Paul.
And I'm Dave.